Hello everyone, welcome to the Trusted Bliss. My name is Ati Ture. I am the host of the channel. Today we did choose to have a conversation on the hottest community topic about multiple twin flames. If you are interested in this theme, please stay with us up to the end of the video and share your personal opinion with the collective in the comment section below. If you resonate with us, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to ease the access to our content for the new community members who are just at the beginning of their spiritual journey, for they need our support and this information the most. Thank you very much for your kindness. There are many ways to discuss about this truly hot topic, depending on the audience, or more correctly, on the level of the consciousness of our listeners. So, it would be very easy for us if we could know what kind of the audience is listening to us. But the internet is a tricky thing, for it doesn't give us this kind of information. Well, by applying some statistics tools, we can get some general facts about our audience, but statistics sadly can't reveal the level of the awareness of those who are listening to this channel. Yet, regardless this limitation, we still think we can't avoid or skip out this team, for we feel some anxiety and tension in the Twin Flame Collective that should be released in order to ease the focus on much more important subjects like the emotional healing or energy work. To start this conversation in the proper way, we want to say that the theme of this channel is following the spiritual non-duality doctrine. We resonate with the idea that one complete and absolutely divine soul had been created by God at the time when the universe was born, and this soul is shared by all animated beings. We think and feel that each separate spark of life or manifested soul is representing various aspects of the same divine soul or consciousness. We also accept as undeniable teachings that God's Spirit or the universal consciousness is guiding us throughout our intuition or the gentle voice of the soul that is connected with God or Spirit in our heart space. We are not only aware about all the written evidence sources of these teachings, but also own the experience. So we agree with the fact that our inner knowing or awareness is the best true teacher or guru, helping us discern the highest divine truth from misconceptions and errors. Please keep in mind that using our senses and logical mind, we rarely can reach the highest truth. Most often, we can find it purely intuitively. Regardless, it may seem strange or illogical from the 3D perspective. So, all empirically or scientifically constructed theories and conclusions are only opinions, but not the highest or ultimate truth. Looking from the spiritual point of view, they prove nothing else but limitations of the human cognitive capacity. Yet, it's always good to know what kind of opinions are floating around, how and why they are formed, that we wouldn't fall into the common delusion, and we could keep our thoughts as clear as that's possible for humans. So, before we start our discussion about the idea of multiple twin flames, we want to recommend you watching our video on the false twin flame. So, we will put the link in the description box for you. If you already did that, we hope you remember that the most often into the fallacious false twin flame trap fall those who are not the twin flames themselves. See, the ordinary people seeking great, healthy, and steady romantic relationships in their lives, mixing up the notion of soulmate and twin flame. Most often, they are spiritual and curious young people who are trying to manifest the phenomenon in order to experience pure and big love. If they are lucky to meet with many attractive individuals from their soul family in a short period of time and create a romantic bond with some of them, they may think they have got many twin flames. We can observe that in authentic stories they are publicly telling online. They are often only in their 20s and their personalities are not fully formed yet. So every new personal and especially romantic connection may appear to them as the big and exciting discovery. So they may think they have got two or more twin flames, for they know this notion and the phenomenon at the superficial and theoretical perspective only. A very similar mindset may have those who are the twin flames, but they did not meet their counterpart yet. They are learning how to recognize them by studying endless lists of the twin flame symptoms and signs, and they are trying various manifestation techniques. They may be not aware they are not ready for this experience inside, so they can manifest only lovely karmic connections, soulmates, or even twin flame counterfeit or near twin flame experiences. In a case if their spiritual growth is fast, they can easily overgrow these connections and label their romantic partners as multiple twin flames when they met the real one, especially if their past romantic partner wasn't the type of person who could be labeled as the fake twin flame from hell. We also want to mention in this video that sometimes twin flames use the idea of multiple twin flames, talking about various manifestations of that twin flame in different dimensions, especially if they are capable of communicating and connecting with them consciously and periodically. Let's say they do know that twin flame in the 3D dimension, but they are capable also of having out of body experiences and they are forming the union with the fourth or fifth dimensional manifestation or aspect of that twin flame while staying in separation on the physical 3D plane. From this perspective, they are correct, telling they've got multiple twin flames. For these manifestations on different dimensions may differ significantly, regardless they are one at the core. Now we won't separately mention the members of the collective who nearly completed their spiritual journey, who are almost reaching liberation and start experiencing long spans of the divine bliss or samadhi. Their consciousness is expanding up to the level where they start naturally losing barriers of their previous personality, which they have got before their spiritual awakening. They are feeling in union with everyone by floating in the cloud or ocean of the highest consciousness that in Vedas is called Akasha. After that, it's really difficult for them to discern who is that twin flame and who is not, for they were not seeking that anymore. They see the limitless potentiality in everyone, for the basis of that is guaranteed by the Spirit itself, residing in the heart of every human being who has the soul. What and how fast we can achieve, who we become and manifest is basically determined only by our intentions and the frequency of our energy field, which we know we can consciously change. So those who are spiritually awakened and reach liberation will never even bother themselves if they have got many twin flames or just one. It's simply not that important. This question can be actual only to those who are still far away from their goal and who are allowing their mind stranding in the midst of the illusionary holographic world created by the ego consciousness. To free yourself out of that trap, you should overcome your ego first, or at least to make it a humble servant of your soul and train it to work for your highest good. We mean it may be actually useful for you to have the idea that there are multiple twin flames right now on the earth in the current timeline for you. If you are stuck in separation stage and if there are no signs that the person who you know is your twin flame would seek to renew the connection and form the union. If techniques and tools you are using don't give the result you seek. In a case of you healing yourself diligently, if you gain the sense of completeness and wholeness, if you manage to restore love with yourself and God, but you are still young enough and want to experience beautiful high consciousness connection, it's completely fine for you to stick up with the thought that God has no limits. Agree, no human can read God's mind fully. The creation of God never ends, and life is manifesting in the strangest, mysterious ways. So, who knows, maybe God prepared more wonderful connections for you. You're still supposed to find and experience when you will let go your twin flame, especially if they are showing no interest in you, if they are not talking to you, ghosting, or completely ignoring you. Keep in mind that does not mean they are not your twin flame or they are the false one. That simply means that there are too many blockages in the connection. The soul possibly did not expand or grow enough to recognize you, or your external manifestation and physical traits and abilities are far away from the alignment with your true divine potential. We also must note that the closest connections are not only among the souls who are strongly attracted one to another, but also among those who feel challenged and irritated one by another the most. That points to the certain areas or traits we should pay attention to. If you notice the aspects of your twin flame you felt excited about, if you did work on that in yourself, if you fully embraced and integrated your shadow self, but your twin flame isn't coming back into your life, you should find the inner power to let them go or to stay the way they want, especially for the reason that they are basically you. So you should deeply wish them well. Let's keep in mind also the fact that the structure of the spiritual world isn't simple or flat. It's a higher level of the manifestation of life than the physical 3D plane. So there is high probability that it's more complex than the physical structure. The biggest humanity sages and all the spiritual scriptures are telling us that spirit is penetrating all cells of the physical world throughout many branches and layers, in a similar way how roots or sprouts of plants are growing. We are calling that picture the tree of life. It's reflected basically even in the blood circulation system of animated creatures and even inanimate world. If we will look to the pictures of rivers or the natural lines of a rock. So each individual human soul is like a tiny separate branch, and one or more similar branches may appear on a larger branch next to the first one when there are some free room for them. If you wish, you can call them all your twin flames, but actually that's your soulmates. They represent slightly different aspects of one soul family and normally are coming into our timeline to support us, to uplift and teach us some spiritual lessons. If your true twin flame somehow lost the connection with the soul and the higher divine self, if they can't recognize you or don't want to work for this connection and union, you can't force them. You can only pray for the grace of God, asking to resolve this situation. If you will do that, you may actually feel the results and outcome in your own heart. Don't forget, God sees a larger picture and meaning in every case. If there are no hope to refresh your connection, God easily may send someone else, replacing your sleeping twin flame. A soulmate may be even more suitable for your soul growth. If you are determined and know that your purpose is the soul elevation and liberation, God will never leave you struggling alone. It doesn't really matter how you will label the new people in your life. If you will call them a soulmate, twin flame counterfeit, second or third twin flame, for we all are one at the core. Much more important is to remember that we are in this life not only for the small and selfish goals like romantic relationships or family, but for the cultivation of the divine qualities and our soul expansion, that one day we could become wise and powerful enough to start helping others by our spiritual knowledge, advices, or even energy, transformation, and healing. If you are that twin flame, that means you should be aware of your spiritual purpose and never put it behind your romantic dreams. You also must know that sometimes people mistake unrequited love situations for the twin flame bond, but you can find out the truth only in the heart when you completely resolve all your attachments and you stay connected only to God. It's also important remembering that God gave the free will to all manifested souls, regardless they are twin flames or not. So we should also respect that. It doesn't matter how much we adore or love someone we met, we should value this experience only as a lesson that helps us to find out the taste of this feeling, that basically is simply leading us towards the unconditional love and personal relationship with God. So we should send our gratitude to those who are our teachers of that eternal, never fading love. Some sages say, by the way, that our human existence is so complex that you can be absolutely sure if someone is your true twin flame or not only when you are finishing your life. Basically, that one of the reasons why our simple mind or ego self is normally very determined to seek the superficial goals only that appear good and positive to you on the physical 3D plane. So, if you are stuck in separation and if you met some new and interesting people who pursue the romantic connection with you, we suggest you to give them a chance, for that may be included into your life plan. All our meetings with other souls are basically predestined. Often they are holding lessons we're supposed to learn. If we don't accept or don't learn them, they can be added to our next incarnation. So it's good to resolve them when we have a chance that we could set ourselves free and realign our physical 3D reality with the spiritual plan and intentions of our higher divine self. Let's also not forget that all the terms and words we use describing spiritual process are not precise. They can't fully explain what's going on the spiritual plane, yet it's not so important what terms we use. Much more important actually is noticing what kind of inner feeling you have got when you are using these terms and forming your ideas about specific connections or people in your life. Pleasant feelings and peaceful, warm heart state means that your thoughts are close to the truth, and on the contrary, irritation, anger, sadness, or any other low vibrational feelings signify that you are wrong somehow, and this is you who should find out the mistakes, but no one else. That's the reason why it's wrong to give too much credit to psychics and tarot masters on the spiritual journey, especially if they make some prognosis or guidance for a group, but not only for you. You must understand that not only his energy is involved to similar practices, but also vibrations of everyone who is participating in the session. So you can get the information only about the general tendencies of the collective consciousness, but not about your personal connection. Now, finally, if you are still struggling on your spiritual journey, we sincerely suggest you to put at the side not only guidance of psychics and tarot masters, but also all terms and labels that don't serve you. For your own highest good, you must stop seeking the goals that are restricting and limiting your soul and consciousness expansion. If your heart is telling that you can't make nothing more to achieve the full 3D union with your twin flame, or even if you can't find them, and after every single attempt you are returning to the initial point where you started your trip. It's time to surrender the will of God and to begin to listening your own intuition in order to remember and start following the authentic plan of your soul, but not just popular ideas or theories. Keep in mind, you may be not even the twin flame, or you are not supposed to meet your divine counterpart in this lifetime. Equally, your case can be truly exceptional and completely unique. You can be the one who have got several twin flames, but you can miss out all of them if you will have no courage to let go the first one, even if they are energetically and emotionally repelling you for a decade. In any case, you still can work on your own qualities and traits you see or feel as positive or desirable, and you can attain this spiritual enlightenment and liberation without a counterpart. For God has no special policy only for couples. If you will come back to your soul plan and you will start following your mission, everything else may fall into the right places by the grace of God that we can always rely on. So, give a credit to your intuition and make a new step after some silent, deep meditation. Keep in mind that only your soul may lead you on this spiritual journey. If you have got many twin flames, they will appear when you will be ready for that. If you have no one, you still may create a happy life with a soulmate or karmic partner, for you can maintain any beautiful and long lasting connection by using your conscious spiritual powers. Accept and allow yourself experiencing life in the way chosen by your own soul, for you can't win if you will go against that. Don't copy that seems to be perfect at the superficial level. Find your own authentic way. That's all for today. We are finishing our conversation on the multiple twin flames. We don't say that they don't exist. We say that human mind is too limited to understand the complexity of the spiritual reality, but we can always seek the growth and expansion of our soul and even liberation, regardless we have many twin flames or no one. Our soul is valuable and divine itself. We simply must purify it by shaking off what we don't need, what is stopping us, and realign our reality with our spiritual life purpose. If you have got different thoughts, please comment on the video and share your personal opinion about multiple twin flames with the collective. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to not miss out our updates. Finally, we wish you much love and success in your personal journey. You are listening to the Trusted Bliss and Dati Ture. Stay tuned. Our new video is coming soon.